YouTube! How you guys doing tonight? This is Mike.
This is Jenny.
Pratt family Homestead. What are we going to talk about, babe?
2017 goals.
Okay.
Stuff that we're hoping to accomplish, but we'll see how the year goes.
Right, and this is going to be a really vague outline, or we're going to attempt a really vague outline so that, well, not so that anything, but we're going to do more specific videos on each issue or goal or whatever
kind of
later on.
As it develops and stuff.
Right.
Because it's only January and you never know what's going to happen.
Goal number 1, I need a new ball cap. This thing is literally on its last thread. Well, there might be 2 there. And it's going to be unwearable. I have been wearing this hat for how long, Jenny?
I don't know, but it is disgusting.
It is one big oil slick. Know what I'm talking about right there? All right.
So gross. And he had been trying to get me to wash it for a while, and I'm like, 1, I don't want that with my other clothing. And 2, if I wash it, it's literally just going to fall apart.
So I'm on the search for a new ball cap, and I am...
Picky.
I'm pretty I've been like searching for a year now.
Yeah, and I've bought him some, and he's like, oh, yay.
Yeah, that's nice.
That's great.
Thanks.
And it like sits or gets shoved in a closet. Whatever. I stopped trying. The kids even said for Christmas, let's get Dad a new hat. I'm like, no. I'm just not.
I love the Viking hat. I love the other hats Jenny's made for me, but come summertime stuff, not as practical and not always as practical.
Sweat your head off.
All right, so getting down to some other goals. One goal that we'd like to try and hit in 2017 is I really would like to explore some avenues of generating some income from within right here, things that we do. Part of that is, you guys may have already noticed, we decided to go ahead and monetize our videos, put ads on the videos. And basically, I believe if you watch 30 seconds of the video, it helps us out.
Right. Yeah, something like that.
And Jenny has become very good about that on all the channels that we watch. She lets the ad play right through. I'm also pretty good about it.
I didn't understand the ads to begin with. So I was skipping them until I understood, the 30 seconds is what helps support the channels. So I just let the ads play all the way through. I mean, sometimes it gives me time to run to the kitchen for something I forgot, or even if I'm just listening to stuff on my phone, I just set my phone down and let it play through, and it supports their YouTube friends. So.
And my buddy Dan over at the Grass-Fed Homestead, he was telling me that he had a subscriber get a hold of him that really wanted to support him, and but she was seeing some very inappropriate ads, and she could not watch the whole ad. So Dan ended up disabling a whole bunch of, what's the word, genres? Categories, a whole bunch of categories.
It's an easier word.
Of ads. So we really strive to be a family-friendly channel. So if you see ads that are not appropriate, that means I need to go uncheck some things and fiddle with the settings.
Definitely let us know.
Please, if there's ads that are not family-friendly, please let us know. Okay, so that's about ads. We appreciate it. If you don't want to watch it, just click skip ad. We won't take any offense to that whatsoever.
No. It's just one tiny step closer to being able to really be able to do stuff here, and hopefully him.
Just see what we can do. And as far as our goals for attempting to generate some income this year, I'm not really putting any dollar amounts on anything. It's just...
What can we do?
If we have a ton of honey, is there a honey market right here that we can sell that? We're going to be doing quite a bit of pork this year. Is there... well, I can already tell you there's a market.
Yeah, there's a market.
But I want to explore about 15 things and just see. I mean, I could care less if we made $50 this summer or this year, or if we made 10 grand. The idea is not to be so introvert, be a little more extrovert, right? Is that the right term?
Yeah, which is like totally beyond our limit. It's like, I don't want to talk to people.
and try and get out there and sell some stuff. So
we'll see how that goes.
Should this be mentioned with that as well?
Yeah, that could go there.
So one of the things on
we have our sheet.
One of the things that we're going to look into is exploring goat breeding for our kinder goats, being actual breeders, which is going to fall into its own anyways because we can't keep every stinking baby that we have, right?
But they're so fuzzy.
But we want to keep having babies so we can keep having milk. So
this is the only time we said keep having babies.
oh, here we go. So there's a whole bunch. Is there anything else on this list that deals with generating income? We got ideas. It's just we got to explore them, and that's what I really want to explore that this year.
I mean, there's a couple things under the animals category that could potentially one day, like meat chickens. We definitely want to do meat chickens for ourselves, and we will be adding meat chickens into our stuff to do this year for ourselves. But it could potentially...
That was a great success last year.
Yeah, it could potentially turn into something of raising some to sell for others as well. And,
right.
You know, so that's one thing. But we are definitely doing meat chickens again.
And the Etsy store. We want to
store.
Get pretty involved with the Etsy store and hopefully promote it pretty well. Jenny has been doing great with selling her crochet items. But we also
really need to get more stuff on there, but finding the time to make it and then post it.
But I'm hoping to add some things to it soon,
yes.
And we're exploring 4, 5, 10 other things to add to the Etsy store, and just help out with those nickel and dime stuff. So
I like your counting skills. 4, 5, 10.
Well, I'm around a 3-year-old a lot. And well, it's just me anyways. So
and to go along with the honey thing, our beehive did fail this past year because the whole queen and stuff, but we are going to do that again and also add on another beehive. So hopefully we'll have more honey.
And then, like I said, there's other items too. So a goal is to look into ways of generating income right here. So let's go right up to the garden. So as you saw, we had the pigs rip up the garden this year, and just a real vague overview, I think, of garden is I really wanted to try the back to Eden method. And now I just watched some videos yesterday or this morning, I think, of Paul Wheaton talking, and now the idea of getting wood chips and using newspaper and cardboard and all that has me terrified. So now I don't know what to do.
But plant the seeds in the ground.
But you need to come up with some kind of natural mulch right around here. Get on that garden, help keep the weeds down. A big goal for the garden this year, not just doing the back to Eden, was we do not want to fight with weeds this year.
No, we gotta find a good natural way to keep the weeds suppressed because the majority of our time all through summer is pulling weeds.
Right. I mean, if weeding was, it will never be eliminated. We fully understand that. But if it was drastically reduced, oh my gosh, that
would just make the whole garden experience a little bit nicer.
Right. Last year was a pretty big fight with the weeds.
It was.
So,
there was a lot of time spent on
what else do you want to put on there, babe, as far as a general garden deal?
I really want to tackle the herb garden this year. I want to focus on that a little bit better. It completely failed last year, and I know it was because the soil was horrible. So I really want to make sure that we take care of the soil and we get it nice and good and golden so that I can have some herbs.
Soil testing. We got to incorporate some soil testing. We never really did last year.
We didn't, but I know that that's what the problem was with the location that we picked. But it's going to be a great location because it's right outside the house. So it's something that I definitely really want to focus on.
That location makes a nice small herb garden if we can get that working good.
Yep.
But I also believe we need a bigger herb garden. That's a perfect place right there for run out and grab some fresh basil.
Yeah.
But I also think we need a bigger one somewhere to put away 10 pounds of basil.
10 pounds of basil.
Because when the zombie apocalypse happens.
Yeah. How much spaghetti sauce do you think we're going to be eating? Jeez.
So
there's that.
Another huge one for me as far as gardening, and we'll say gardening and growing our own food, is I want to get an orchard put in this year, a mini orchard. I'm thinking 8 to 12 trees, different varieties of fruits, and hopefully before TJ graduates high school, we can harvest some.
Maybe.
So an orchard is a top priority of mine. Getting trees in the ground this year.
Two things kind of going in. One is putting away more food this year than we did last year. We always want to try to be improving on that and putting more food away, whether it's freezer or canned. Right now, like nothing can go in the freezer. But the also is expanding our canning skills. I mean, this past year we tried things, especially like sauce. Did awesome with sauce. We tried other stuff that we hadn't done before, and so far, for the most part, we're enjoying it. But next year, try more new stuff.
What she's not saying is canning meat.
Yes, it's always making me do the icky stuff.
Yeah, so I think canning meat's an essential, and we're probably gonna start with some ground beef here real soon. So, anyways, we'll get going on that. I think that's good for garden, huh?
Sure.
Or well, she had also wrote down trying companion planting. We need to look into that whole
Just
kind of
something to look
permaculture, companion planting. We need to probably get a little more on board with all that.
Yeah, I think that it would better utilize some of our space because we are, changing up locations of stuff a little bit, but it's also something that we haven't spent a whole lot of time looking into yet.
Right.
It's just something it's a thought.
Right. As far as growing, also I'll say I think this year that gets a little more specific, but we may try growing like an obscene amount of corn this year. Because the farmer around us is not growing corn.
Right, so we don't have to worry about anything interfering.
Right.
Yeah.
And then
We'll just see how that
the other side note on the garden is our garden downsized a little, quite a bit.
Yeah.
But we are also outside the garden planting a ton of onions, a ton of potatoes, like I said, a ton of corn.
We're moving stuff to, again, kind of better utilize our areas.
Right. So that takes us into the general topic of animals, and one of the big things with animals, we don't necessarily have to go into a whole lot of detail here, but is we are reevaluating what are we, what are we or are we not using, and we'll mention a lot of this in upcoming videos, I think, but we've already discussed we are going to be downsizing our chickens dramatically, which means freezer camp. I've got a buddy that might want to buy a couple. Yeah. I think you know somebody that might want to buy a couple.
They're discussing it,
right?
But I don't know.
But generally speaking, we need to stop feeding chickens, so
they can run around the yard.
All we eat is duck eggs.
Yeah.
So
I just gave all of our chicken eggs away. I'm like, take out.
We just had like 3 dozen chicken eggs, and Jenny's best friend was over yesterday and just took them.
Yeah, I was like, they're just sitting. Take the eggs.
Right. So that's a huge thing, is downsizing these animals, and that'll be an ongoing thing for years. What works? What doesn't? Let's get this animal. We think it's going to work. Well, that's not working out too good, so let's reevaluate that.
Yeah.
And that's where we're going to be for this year, is just kind of getting zeroed in animal-wise of how many of what do we need. And we were actually talking, we love hatching the eggs.
Yeah.
But, it makes no sense to hatch any more chicken eggs just because maybe one or two a year or something, but yeah, just because it's fun. Unless we have some people set up that want to buy some, because that's another one of those opportunities we could look at.
Yeah.
But even the ducks are fun, but we think we have about the perfect amount of ducks right now. But then you got to balance. Our oldest ducks are going to be 2 years? 2 years this spring, so we do kind of probably need to hatch out a couple more just to keep that. Yeah. So they don't get too old, stop laying, and then we're not having eggs. So
right.
We're trying to figure out that balance, and that's I think that's a really important goal, is to figure out that balance of what animals you can feed that you're still going to use, and all that stuff. So I think another big one is that one.
Yeah, I think that's going to be a for sure.
Okay, and what that is I thought she was going to run with that. That's going to be
is... I can run with it.
Okay, go ahead, baby.
We're going to build more pasture paddocks for CJ, for him to be able to...
The horse.
Yeah, the horse. For him to be
more
able to
fencing.
Rotate through and...
Cha-ching.
Yes, more fencing. But it'll give him a lot more space. It'll give him a lot more grazing room, and more grazing room means less hay buying. So, at least for... 4 months of the year.
Right, for 4 months.
But we are for sure going to be putting in some more paddocks for him.
And that'll limit. Last summer we were moving him on tether.
Yeah.
And that was just a lot of extra work. So we're going to spend a lot of extra money to put in the fence and paddocks, but it's going to save us a lot of
Yeah.
time and energy, especially Jenny, throughout the summer.
Still put him out on tether in the other parts of the yard.
Yeah.
One, because then we won't have to mow it, and then
Right.
also just to move him around, give him something, and give his pasture paddocks a little bit of a day or two to rest or whatever.
Right. I think the paddocks will have set up pretty good to where he can almost be in a different area every day of the week at least. And yeah, and it was very time consuming to go move him and put him on tether 2 or 3 times a day, move him around and stuff last summer. So
yeah,
this
and sometimes we're just in a time crunch with activities and being gone that it'd just be nice to open a gate and be like, you go that way today.
Yeah, and if we were going to go somewhere, leaving him on tether, it was not an option whatsoever. But if he's out in pasture grazing, he can stay right there and we can go do errands and come back and take him back out. And these will be paddocks specifically for eating, so he'll be put in and out of them a couple times a day, and the ground will be saved. He won't be allowed to stay in. He won't be allowed to stay in there for hours and hours and hours and destroying it. We need it to stay good. So, all right, that's. And then the other thing about animals would be we're going to do a lot of pigs this year. So I've done like 2 different ways of pigs so far, and this year I'm going to do a mass of pigs. We're looking at about 10. And they're going to go in the old garden. So there'll be a whole, we'll just leave it at that because
I'm sure there'll be like a whole series.
There will be.
Pigs.
We've got the 2016 pig playlist, but it doesn't say 2016. I think I'm going to go put 2016 on that playlist so that we can start a 2017 pig playlist. So, yeah, that's the other one we've been kind of, that's getting specific too, but we're possibly talking about turkeys, getting a couple. Neither Jenny or I are huge turkey fans.
No, again, that's one of those trying to figure out what works, what doesn't work for us.
We'll eat turkey. We have no problem eating turkey, but even like
those hams.
Even like come Thanksgiving, we're like, let's go get one of those hams out of them. We don't want to go buy a turkey and eat. Even if we had our homegrown turkey, we would still want to go get that ham out of the freezer. So, do you want to go first or me? So we got it. We made a list of just a couple personal goals for us. Okay, one of mine is this will be a never-ending goal. This will until it's 100% achieved, which is nowadays honestly impossible unless it's very far-fetched, but always improving on self-sustainability. Even if we take a baby step this year and we are doing one little item that has made us more self-sustaining, I will consider that achieved. So, yeah, I believe we have so far to go in that journey, even to get to a relatively acceptable level. But we're working on it and we're doing it, and the 2 years we've been out here, we've improved on it, and
we've done a lot in 2 years.
We have done a lot, and it's great. But continue doing that. And then another big one is relax a little more. It probably won't happen.
That won't be achieved.
We're trying to do a couple things this year that are at least in theory scaling back.
We just got this whole list of stuff we're going to do, but we're going to scale back. We're going to slow down.
But we are trying. We're going to try. But, I mean, when you got the garden going and you got animals and we want to put the paddocks in, it's just work. I mean, it's a lot of work. It's busy, but maybe we can pace ourselves a little better. We felt pretty rat raced last year.
Oh, yeah.
So we're going to try working on that. Take a couple steps back, I think. So... Excuse me.
Exhausting.
I didn't notice this beard darken up at all. What do you have, baby?
Time management. I am like the worst person ever at time management. I'll just kind of put something off and then scramble to get something done. And I have got to get better with that. I really do. So just time management. And I think that'll also help me just feel like I can accomplish more during the day, every day. But probably not. I'll probably still feel like I'm losing my mind and pulling my hair out, but and to go counteract your relax more, ride CJ more. Take my horse for a ride.
That'd be
that
very
would help me relax.
Jenny's made great strides with Jenny's been around horses before, but
Yeah.
I don't think I could consider either of us horse people. But Jenny has made great strides in getting to know CJ, overcoming some hesitations and everything. So hopefully this year when the weather's warm and all that, Jenny can relax. Yep. So okay. I think that's that. Above all, slow down. That's a big thing she has right here at the bottom of her list is above all, slow down.
Slow
And
down.
I agree. We need to, but we'll see. I'm really not expecting too much slowdown.
No, this past year really did just fly by, and especially with like 4 kids and stuff, you just gotta slow down sometimes.
Yep.
But we did our camping trips and stuff, which would help us relax. Although we were running back to the house like 3 times a day to do chores, but that's okay. That's part of it. So yeah, slow down a little. But
this is another small little goal that we're gonna work on this year is our kids don't really have set homestead or has set barn chores to do, but I mean every day 10 times a day we say come help me, you come help me, you guys go do this. I mean so they might not have set chores, but
they're involved.
They
in
are
everything.
very involved.
They get their hands in everything.
But starting this summer when the kids get out of school, the older 2 especially will have some set chores, and that'll include going to the barn and other stuff. So I don't know if that's really a goal or what, but I think it's good to get that instilled in them. But like I said, they don't have set chores now, but they are constantly either voluntarily or because we said come do this, they're constantly doing stuff anyways.
Yeah.
So
and they're interested in all of it.
Yes.
We're not like pulling teeth trying to make
No.
them do something.
No.
But it's
except weeds. That's pulling teeth.
that's pulling teeth. But that's like pulling my own teeth trying to go do it too. So I understand their pain. But they do enjoy being involved. But we definitely want to, I guess, kind of give them more responsibility so they understand the like full aspect of everything that we do.
Right. Because that does build responsibility if you have they do have set chores in the house that they have to do.
Because I'm not doing all that.
But we need to expand that out a little bit for them, and they need to know they have the responsibility that this is their responsibility, and I don't know what it would be, but here's your consequences if the responsibility is not done. Jenny cracking the whip.
You can't go play outside. Go outside. You drive me crazy.
So okay, 23 minutes, babe.
All right, we're good.
But
that's done to 30.
that's our vague list of goals and what we want to try to get accomplished. The garden, we could probably go on for 2 hours. What we want to plant. In fact, we probably will. All these will have videos expanding on for sure. So
yeah, and I'm sure some of it will change throughout the year. I mean, never know what's going to happen.
Yep.
We'll see.
All right, guys. Thank you very much. Please like, share, subscribe.
Check us out on Facebook and Instagram.
And I forgot to say, this is Mike.
This is Jay.
Pratt Family Homestead.
I'm sure everybody is very well aware of who you are by now.
Are you petting me?
No, I'm
This
like...
is getting weird.
I'm wanting to like... I did actually pull a little harder than I meant to.
Than she meant to. All right. Thanks for watching, guys. We really appreciate it.
Bye.